Okay, here we are, European Motors, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Got a really clean 84 911 Carrera Targa. Many of you Porsche guys know this is the first year of the Carrera 3.2 flat 6 with the many people say better G50 transmission. This is the one to have. This is kind of the 80s icon. Really original car, except for the few period upgrades, quote-unquote upgrades, like the BBS basket weaves. And as you'll see a little later, we've got an Alpine, period correct Alpine head unit. Does have the front and rear spoilers, the old whale tail, and then we've got the chin spoiler up here. A few little rock chips and probably kissed a few curbs over the years, but all in all pretty sanitary for being nearly 30 years old now. Many of you have been asking about these, so we've got the carpet kind of pulled away. I've been asking about what it looks like under here. It's pretty clean. I don't see any collision evidence or anything. Everything looks pretty factory to me. It does have a little bit of scabbiness down here by the battery that you can sort of see. It's rock solid. It's just almost surface that the coating has kind of been worn away, and I think a guy could kind of just clean that up with a wire brush. We'll go over here to the other side. Again, very factory. Doesn't look like it's ever been hit up here. Really doesn't, from what I can tell, it doesn't look like it's really been hit anywhere. But it has had one respray. Here's kind of the option tag for all you guys that can decipher a lot of that. We'll kind of sight down the sides here. We've got a few little door dings and things of that nature. I'll kind of try and point out some of the flaws. We'll go to each wheel and kind of see what they are. I think they're kind of older tires. We sold this car actually about 8 years ago, and I don't think the gentleman has changed any of the tires, so my guess is the tires are at least 8 to 10 years old, but they don't really show any cracking. We have a little ding down there on the rocker that you can kind of see. The rocker is actually, for you guys that know this, it's not closed in, it is hollow. So you should be able to just work that back out without too much drama. And we'll show you the underside. I haven't really seen any rust on this car in the time I've been kind of crawling around on it, under it and over it, of any significance. You know, we've got some surface rust on bolts and things of that nature. Kind of go around underneath. The car has not been cleaned up. We didn't degrease the engine, so what you see is what you get. And really, it's not that bad. We've got what I think is a very minor leak on the left valve cover that you can kind of see. And the car, when it sits overnight, and for that matter, when it sits about a week, it'll leave like a dime-sized drop in 2 different spots. So I've seen them a lot worse. So not too bad there. We've got some road rash right here on the left rear. Again, I'll kind of sight down the side for you. I don't know if you can see, but we've got a little door ding right there. And we've got another one up in this area somewhere, as I saw it earlier. There's the 3.2 flat 6. Top side, again, we haven't really cleaned this car up, so you guys can see exactly what it is. For somebody who had the time for a little elbow grease, this car could really be a traffic stopper, I think. It's all there and ready to go. That's the factory tail with the rubber boot on it. We'll go around to this side. We got the Euro lenses. They're again good tread on the Dunlops, but they are, you know, about 10 years old, I would say. And when you drive it, they have some flat spotting. You know, it shimmies a little bit when you're going down the road. Kind of typical with these if you've been around them. The last owner really enjoyed it, but probably not as much as he should have. Didn't drive it all that much, so we've got some flat spotting. Let's go around this side. You know, really very clean under here. A lot of you have been asking about rust, and really I really don't see anything unusual about this car. Probably the rustiest part of this car is going to be the oil cooler grill. If you can see that just from, you know, being parked on damp surfaces now and again, maybe some humidity in the garage, but that's just, you know, pretty minor. But to me, that's the rusty spot on the car. Sorry, I'll try and keep my fingers off the screen there. Here's some detail of the spoiler again. You know, it's just kissed a couple parking barriers, you know, and so forth. Pretty sanitary. Oh, one thing I did want to show you guys is the fender here. This right front fender, for whatever reason, shows a little bit of a tire rub. You know, and you can see it's a little bit deformed there, and then somebody's touched that up. That's not rust from what I can tell, it's just paint touch up. So, alright, let's go to the interior. We got a little bit of tattering on the Targa seal. Again, very, very typical. This car is kind of neat. It's got the factory sport seats, but they're dry. You know, in the interest of full disclosure, they're a little dry. You could drive it and enjoy it the way it was, but really, if a guy were to put some money and have just an interior guy recover these seats, it would be pretty cool. You've got a seam starting to pull right there because it's dry. And the same goes for the back seats are actually pretty good, but the same goes for the shelf back here. It's just starting to pull. You can see it through the back window. You know, I don't know if that's going to pick it up or not, or at all, but we'll go over here to the dash. I think those are the original floor mats. I'm not 100% sure. You guys would know better than me, maybe. It's got some period speakers. The dash, I would say, is just in awesome shape. You know, you got just a slight sun warpage on the defroster vents only. And, you know, quite frankly, when I was a kid messing around with these back in the early 90s, they almost look like that. But, you know, we have no cracking anywhere. The gauges are nice and bright. There's no sun fading. Shows 88 and some change. Clock is not working, and the period Alpine is not working. It lights up, but there is no sound, so I don't know if there's an issue with the amplifier for that unit or what. That's the way we're selling it. Again, we haven't cleaned it up, so we've got a dead leaf in there, but carpets are pretty good under the floor mats. The doors could use a little bit of adjusting. To me, you have to give them a little bit of a slam to get them to go, but, you know, not bad. The seal up here, the front Targa seal, looks pretty good to me. Really, in my opinion, if a guy were to just get this rear Targa bar seal and have somebody redo the front seats and the back shelf, this car would, you know, really pop. I mean, that's kind of the few bad points on this car. Paint is still very presentable. Here's the Targa top right here. Looks great. and the inside even looks great, if you can see that. And for those of you who don't know, this does fold. Right here you can kind of see that it folds, and right here you can see that it folds, and it does stow in the trunk. So we'll run around here quick and kind of wrap it up so nobody falls asleep, but let's fire this thing up and see what it sounds like. Now it is about 35 degrees, and all we did was pull it out of the showroom here. So this is going to be a cold start, so we'll just show you guys what it sounds like and looks like and feels like on a genuine cold start here. Good oil pressure. Idling about 1100, smooth. We'll go back to the back here and see what it sounds like. Sounds good. So there you go, nice little 84 911 Carrera, Targa top, very, very good condition. Drive and enjoy as is, or do a few things and really make it pop. 319-393-8496, or you can check us out on the web, EuropeanMotorsLimited.com, EuropeanMotorsLTD.com. And you know, I've personally driven this car. It drives very, very nice. The engine is strong. There's no grinding or anything. The shifter's just a hair vague, which is kind of a characteristic, but you know, really all in all, a delight to drive. Just a really fun car to drive, but you know, it's going to need some things here and there. Like I say, remember, it's got some shimmies from the tires, flat spotting. We've got kind of some dry seats. There the car is off cold start and idling just where it should. We still have good oil pressure. The oil is starting to expand, so you can see the oil levels coming up just the way it should. Really, really nice car. Do not hesitate to call us, 319-393-8496. You can talk to me, my name's Pete, or you can talk to Susie. We'd just be delighted to help you with this car. It's a really nice example. I think we've got a great price on it, as a lot of you have mentioned. So have a good one, guys.